Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. I don't know what it is with these immigrants or these non POCs, these POCs. What I don't get is every single one accuse us of being jealous of them. We have been literally accused by every single group and told we are jealous of them. First of all, this dude talking about we have a problem with them taking pride. First of all, who the hell cares what some Puerto Rican is doing? Because they are wannabe white people themselves. Number two, let me tell you something. You're not greater than the homeland you come out of. Look, if you remember, back when Donald Trump was still campaigning, he had a comedian that said Puerto Rico was a garbage bag. Y'all remember that? He described Puerto Rico as a garbage bag. So at you right there just proves that y'all have not done anything to make that island better. You haven't done nothing. If you pull up pictures, y'all, you can still see homes with tin roofs, homes with blue tarps, because they have not had roof repairs from the last couple of hurricanes that rolled through there. All right. And didn't Donald Trump go there and toss paper towels at y'all, and y'all scrambled around trying to catch what Donald Trump was that was very insulting. And y'all just stood there and took that crap off of Donald Trump. Trust me, if you were a room, if he really thought you were white, he would never have done that to you. Okay? He did that because he sees you as beneath him. See, instead of shaking your hand and giving you the paper towel, that would have been the right thing to do. He decided he didn't want contact with you, so he tossed those paper towels around. So now here we are. You are citizens because of a law that was passed. Puerto Rico is a US territory, and they had to pass a law to make Puerto Ricans citizens. So they are not constitutional citizens like we are. They're not. So laws can be rescinded. And the way Donald Trump is going, I would not be surprised if we wake up one day and he rescinds that law. I wouldn't be shocked at all, because this is a man, he don't care. And many of these Puerto Ricans also voted for Donald Trump. So, hey, it is what it is. And many of them are in ICE. It's a mixture of them in ICE. And they're in ICE too. So, you might not want to focus on us. Maybe you should focus on fixing up your homeland so it doesn't look so bad. I know it's hard to keep up with those hurricanes rolling through and tearing the place up. Plus, y'all have earthquakes. And I seen some houses that are, slanted because of several of the earthquakes that went on. And number two, on those islands all across the Caribbean, whenever they have a storm, y'all, they always got some homes or buildings collapsing because they don't maintain any of those places. They just live in it or work in it, but they don't maintain it. That's why there's always something collapsing over there. So, that being said, man, ain't nobody thinking about y'all. I I I am around my people every single day, and the word Puerto Rico don't come up. It don't come up at all in our everyday lives. So ain't nobody thinking about you like that. So let me go ahead and share my screen, because After looking at your island, I actually went through and looked at the houses and looked at the, just the whole landscape. Trust me when I say nobody is jealous of you, not a living soul. Okay, hold on one second. And yeah. All right, y'all. Please give me a one if you can see my screen. Oh yeah, they're another group of Latinos that believe they are white. And some of them are darker than us. All right. Many of them are. And they're sitting here talking about somebody, ain't nobody even focused on you. Thank you.
African Americans are so angry at the fact that Puerto Ricans are proud of who they are, of their cultural identity. Here's this guy right here saying that Puerto Ricans are supposedly so proud, but we live under the boot of America. Is that true? No, that's actually false. It's a dysphomism in order to discourage us out of feeling pride for our culture. But you know who is living and who remains living under the boot of America? Black American. Take into account that in the 1800s, almost 40 or 50 years before slavery was abolished, Republicans founded the American Colonization Society to offer people of African descent to head back to Africa, their motherland.
All right. We must talk about this, y'all. All of these foreigners love bringing up slavery. This mofo got a lot of nerve. All of the Caribbean was a slave colony, including Puerto Rico. Okay? That whole place was a slave colony. And these people act like they came from an island and there was no slavery there. Puerto Rico was a goddamn slave colony. Oh, back with slavery. Oh, and it's amazing. You know all about our slavery, but you don't know nothing about the slavery that was over there in Puerto Rico. It's just amazing what these people always want to point out. And it's just like these Africans. You were slaves. You motherfuckers were colonized in your own land, and you still are to this very day. You're colonized in your own land. Y'all walk every day on top of diamonds and gems and all kinds of resources right under your feet that you're not allowed to touch. Y'all need to go somewhere and sit down. All of you foreigners, all of you need to go somewhere and sit down and shut the F up. We don't need to hear this from you. In fact, Puerto Rico looks so awful, it looked like you haven't changed the place since slavery. That's how bad it looks.
As freed men. The majority of them chose to remain under the heel of white Americans as slaves here in America, and a small minority went to Africa and started Liberia. I don't know why African Americans are so angry at the fact that Puerto Ricans are proud of who they are, of their cultural identity. Here's this guy right here saying that Puerto Ricans are supposedly so proud, but we live under the boot of America. Is that true? No, that's actually false. It's a dysphomism in order to discourage us out of feeling pride for our culture. But you know who is living and who remains living under the boot of America? Black American. Take into account that in the 1800s, almost 40 or 50 years before slavery was abolished, Republicans founded the American Colonization Society to offer people of African descent to head back to Africa, their motherland, as
All right, and let's be real. Puerto Ricans that look like him, y'all, are recent. See, they got mixed up with the Spaniards. These folks have not even been here but for a few centuries. All right. He's not an original person in Puerto Rico. He's not. He's the mix, a mix of this, a mix of that. These people are recent. They don't have no longevity on the earth. They didn't exist until the Spaniards came around. After that, that's when they existed. Prior to that, there were nobody that looked like him over there. All these groups are recent. All of them are.
Freed men. The majority of them chose to remain under the heel of white Americans as slaves.
It gets to a point. What what Black American is thinking about Puerto Ricans? I think they're doing this after the Bad Bunny Super Bowl performance, which they saying we hating on them and we so jealous. And I'm like, no, I didn't even watch it. I saw clips and I didn't understand what he was saying, and I just wasn't entertained by it. That doesn't mean I was hating or Black Americans are hating because he was Puerto Rican. We don't speak Spanish, and we don't. That his music is just not my cup of tea. And if y'all want to go there, I saw this video, and I'm so grateful to this creator. I gotta think of what her name is. I'm gonna try once I figure it out. I'll like type it in the comments. She told us where the Super Bowl halftime originated. And do you know that it was Black Americans who created the idea, the notion of a halftime show? In Living Color, the Wayans brothers was the first people to have a segment during the halftime. Before that, it was like marching bands. It was like nothing substantial that anybody wanted to see. There were never any performances. They did in Living Color, like skit show entertainment piece. And then from there, the ratings were through the roof. After that, they had who? Michael Jackson. That is what started the halftime Super Bowl show. So you want to say that we're under the boot of white Americans, but y'all are fucking delusional. First of all, we're thriving in this country. Do we deal with oppression and all of this? Absolutely. Donald Trump was in Puerto Rico throwing rolls of fucking paper towels at y'all head. So don't come up here talking about we don't care about you people. I don't think about Puerto Ricans. Black Americans, we all sit up here thinking about Puerto Ricans. Because of that one comment, you think 50 million of us is sitting up here mad that y'all are prideful? Be prideful. Everybody and their mother keeps our name in their mouth when we literally just be minding our business. Like I'm just scrolling, I'm at Shake Shack and I'm reapplying my lipstick. But then I see this nonsense and I was like, are we is it crack? What is it that these people are smoking? We do not care. But you see how he used that one comment as a chance to try to denigrate us when literally we created this whole fucking shit. Without Black Americans, you wouldn't even be using the word pride. We the ones that coin being proud of yourself. We are the ones that made it cool to rep your set. Don't ever forget. No, I don't know who's jealous of Puerto Rican. Who even thinks about in my delusion? Like, could y'all tell me? Maybe it's something that I don't know, but I don't. We don't talk about anybody unless they bring us into it, and you all cannot stop. Y'all can't help yourselves. And when we finally enter the chat, y'all say, "Oh, y'all are xenophobic. Y'all are mad. Y'all are thinking about it. Y'all want to be centered so bad in a world that has never centered you. But you want to know who's always been centered, Mr. Proud Puerto Rican? Black Americans. Culturally, what have you really done in the world on a global scale that has reshaped, innovated, and changed the way we do things? Maybe there's a couple things y'all could enlighten me because I don't know anything about what y'all do, what you all bring. Because the only thing I see from y'all when I do see y'all is trashing and denigrating Black American people, calling us slaves, loving to run with that slave narrative. If we're slaves here, what the fuck? Who do you think you are, Pedro? Like, anyways, what y'all think about this? Realistic way. We hating on Puerto Ricans. It gets to a point.
Considering that the majority of East Coast Puerto Rican women have abandoned the Puerto Rican household
and integrated themselves into Black America, which is to me is an existential threat to Boricuas because it's making its way to Puerto Rico and is disrupting the the society. It's basically creating animosity, racial.
Now, what he's saying in a sense is true because there are couples around me where it's a Puerto Rican woman with a black man or a black man, or or a Puerto Rican man with a black woman. That is going on a lot in certain parts of the country. But in the same token, if you don't have no complaints about the Puerto Ricans that are hooking up with white people though. You notice he ain't bringing that up? The only one he's concerned about are the ones that are hooking up with our people. He ain't concerned. He ain't bring up white people because his people also they're with white people too. He ain't got no concern about that. See, that's okay. So that's what La Raza improving the race. But just listen to him. So in what he's really doing and what he's saying, because I'm reading between the lines, he's jealous of black men. That's what it is. But let's go on.
Animosity where there was none.
Puerto Rican men or Dominican men?
I like black men. Uh,
Why? What do you like about black men?
um, I like everything about them. Come on now, like, come on now. You know.
Puerto Ricans are also the pioneers of hip hop. It's not up for debate.
What's not up for debate is a lot of Puerto Ricans don't understand English. Pioneering something is creating something. Puerto Ricans did not create any aspect of hip hop. Black Americans created hip hop. Just because Puerto Ricans added to breakdancing does not mean they created breakdancing. I think a lot of Puerto Ricans are jealous that Black Americans created something that is loved worldwide, and they wish they could be us. Stop with the jealousy.
Okay, y'all. So I've been seeing all of this discourse around Black Americans. People love to talk about us because they're so jealous and envious. We don't give a fuck. Now, what I will say is when it comes to non-American Black people, they're super jealous and envious because we don't have to walk around and ask for permission. We don't have to put on this performance. We are just ourselves. And this is why people are so drawn to us. Even people who do not like us, they're obsessed with us because they wish in some part of our culture that they had that for themselves, whether it's our passion and aggression, our creativity, the way we speak, the way we do things. You motherfuckers are jealous, right? And not only that, I think that non-American Black people deal with higher rates of racism because they tend to want to be inclusive, right? They want to cry and beg for other people to let them in their space. Why? Because they really don't want to be in our space, and we don't give a fuck about that either. But they cry about not being accepted by other people. I'm not like those Black American people. I'm different, right? When in reality with us, we like, okay, you have your own space, I have my own space. We're gonna create our own shit anyway. We create so much of our own shit that everybody else want a piece of it. Like, let's be real here. So we don't care about that stuff like how y'all care about it. And this is why y'all tend to deal with higher rates of racism because you don't know how to stay in your own space, right? And so again, a lot of us were like, you know what? They got their own thing going on. If I go over into a space and I feel a little type of weird energy, I'm out. I'm not going to sit up and try to beg and plead my way in for what? And so this is why a lot of them don't like that or don't like us, right? And they're constantly reminded of this on a daily basis. And this is why you will see them kiss other people's asses and, oh, yeah. And they try to like mimic.
Yeah, no, all of these Latinos are not our people, y'all. They're not. I think that trying to say all of them are the 12 tribes, all that is a damn lie. That's why do you think when they come here, they're indifferent to us? They got a Gentile spirit on them. And that's why when they speak, they use all of the white supremacist talking points because they are Gentiles. And I think you need to look and listen. When they sound like a white supremacist, that ain't our people. And I think all of some of these people that believe in that 12 tribe chart, when you hear these Latinos calling you the N word and saying that we're beneath them and we're the lowest thing on it, that ain't our people. Somebody that's our people wouldn't be talking like that. They're talking like that because many of these Latinos are Gentiles. Some of them are not, but many of them, especially the majority of them that are here on American soil, they are Gentiles. They sound like a Gentile. They put us down like Gentiles, and they favor white people. They want to be white adjacent, right? And it's the same all over that Caribbean. So no, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. When these Gentiles come out of their face and they're talking crap about us, that's not my brother or sister. That's not my brother or sister. I don't care what that chart says. Anybody that talks disparagingly about my people, no, that ain't my brother or sister. Now, if you still want to claim them, you have at it. I ain't claiming nobody like that. If they don't claim me, I don't claim them. So I'm sorry, you 12 tribe chart lovers, go right ahead and embrace these racist ass Latinos. You have at it. I'm not joining you in it. Have at it.
Their way into certain spaces because they know deep down inside that you're an other, right? Especially here in America, everybody knows that when it comes to Americans, you either have white Americans, you have black Americans, white Americans, everything else is in between. So when you come here, you're like, okay, I don't know which way to go. Okay, I'm gonna go over here, but then I don't know if I should go over here. I don't know if I should go. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that issue. If anything, we gonna battle it out. You stay your ass over there. We gonna stay over here, right? Okay, cool. You go over there. Come over. Don't come over here, right? We have that understanding. So again, I see what I see. We all see it. And this is why a lot of foundational Black Americans are choosing to delineate and say, you know what? We don't have to be bothered with you either. We don't have to be bothered with y'all. You don't have to be fake. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to do this and do that. We don't want to be bothered either. And not only that, we can say that freely. The only reasons why a lot of people are reacting and they're responding, it is because we said something first. We like, okay, you know what? We don't have to be bothered with you. We don't have to engage with you like that. We don't have to, deal with you like that. I mean, what? And yes, a lot of us are very arrogant. Yes, a lot of us, we know that we're the shit. Like I said before, no, a lot of us are not humble. We're not humble, right? And then we express ourselves. See, a lot of the times, other people, they like to wait and then express themselves through um, like what they've gained financially, right? But a lot of Black American people, we express ourselves through our creativity, the way we speak, our music, the things we create. That's how we express ourselves, right? And it's a way of not like, aha, look at what we doing. It's like, no, bitch, we're doing what we're doing. Like this is just it's lineage to us at this point. Whereas you have to wait till you get to a certain point, and then you're like, okay, now I can flex. Now I can do this. We don't have to do that, right? You could have a poor Black American person right now who is going to keep their hair done. They're going to keep a clean house. You feel me? They're going to um, love on themselves as if they're a millionaire, a billionaire. Whereas other people, they feel they allow other people, right? Non-American Black people allow other people to make them feel less than, and then they feel like they have to overperform in order to be like, okay, now I can talk my shit, now I can say this. That's your way of asking for permission. Whereas you can see an average poor Black American person that say, you know what, I still think I'm the shit, can't nobody tell me nothing. And okay, all I have to do is continue to do whatever I'm doing. And that's not me being in a certain position is not going to stop me from loving myself. Whereas you feel less when you don't have what you need to have, or when you don't, or if you're trying to copy and mimic white people and what they have, right? A lot of y'all feel less than. We don't. We just be like, okay, well, shit, let's create it. I'm telling you right now, if Black American people can create money, we would have been already been, creating our shit. Like, okay, boom, that's how we do it. Okay, boom, no questions, right? Whereas you have other people, oh, wait, let's see what they're doing. Okay, they say to walk like this. Okay, oh, okay, we have to speak like this. Okay, that's their energy. We don't do shit like that. And a lot of people hate to admit it to themselves, but we are the shit. Like, we know that already. And this is why a lot of us don't walk around like that, because it's something that's natural to us. You notice when people have to flex, it's like they have to overdo it because they're not used to it. A lot of us, it's just how we carry ourselves. We don't have to overperform and do all of this shit because it's natural to us. Whereas with y'all don't have that. So this is why it is fluctuating. And a lot of y'all copy a lot of trends. So if something is popular over here, you're like, oh yes, yes, that's me. Then when it die down, then you're back to confused and trying to figure out your own identity.
There you go. You know? No, we don't have to follow these other groups. And as far as they take pride in themselves, ain't nobody thinking about you. In fact, it was a running joke when I was growing up how Puerto Ricans would put clothes on and nothing would match. They would have plaid pants on with a striped shirt. The only thing we would say is if somebody's clothes didn't look right, why you dressed like a Puerto Rican today? That was funny. So anyway, we don't no. We are not following what Puerto Ricans do. We never will. We never will. And like I said, y'all, I want you to be real conscious about these Latinos slash Hispanics and start looking at the spirit on them. The vast majority of the ones here in this land got that same Edomite spirit on them. And no, you're not seeing things, it's really there. And for you to say because you wrote something on a chart that I have to embrace somebody with that kind of nature, nah, the Most High would never make us embrace somebody that acts and talk and hate on us the same way as Edom. He wouldn't make us embrace that. Come on. So anyway, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. I don't have to listen to this delusional guy not another second. So y'all, thank you so much for being here. I deeply appreciate it. And look, one thing we do know, the fact that we stay on their minds rent free, it just goes to show you we really are in these final times because everybody wants to reveal to us how much they can't stand us. And it's almost like as time goes by, it just gets more and more amplified. So, y'all have a wonderful night, and I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to talk about the Turning Point USA, halftime show that was nothing but a big flop. So we will talk about that tomorrow. Shalom, family.